Hey everyone, it's Jonathan from littleredtug.com. Up here in the Northeast, unfortunately, we have a boating season which ends at the end of October, which is where we are right about now. So I thought I'd show you a little bit of a video with myself and JP about how we're going to winterize the Ranger 21 tug. We're going to focus on 4 separate areas. We're going to focus on the engine, the freshwater system, the air conditioning, and the sewage tank. So we're going to focus on those 4 areas, and I'm going to show you parts of the video as we go along. We've got some tools that we brought with us, and then we also have things like a shop vac, and we have some RV antifreeze which we got at our local Walmart. So we're going to go step by step through some of these processes and show you the video of how we do these things, and towards the end, and then later on I'll show you about how I'm going to wrap up my boat for the winter and keep it warm up here in New England. So fortunately, although it's the end of the season, it's a good chance to see how we're going to winterize Toto.
All right, while Jonathan finishes tidying up in the cabin, we're going to get ready to winterize the motor. And we're going to start off by taking the cap off the strainer. We'll clean that out. And then we can just leave that out while we do this. We're going to take this time now and add some marine antifreeze through the strainer. We're going to start the motor and we're going to run it through the motor, keeping the strainer full so that the impeller does not run dry. And once we start getting a good flow of RV coolant out the discharge, we'll be all set.
You ready?
So what we're looking at here is the AC unit inside the Ranger 21 that we have. This is a Dometic unit. It is AC powered. To the right here on the other side of the louvers, there's actually an inverter that's powered off of 2 deep cycle batteries that are in the stern of the boat. Unfortunately, we haven't figured out a easy way to tap into the 110 to use it while we're underway as an inverter. So instead we've hooked up a cheaper inverter we have up here for some of our devices if we want to keep them charged when we're underway.
All right. So this is the intake system for the air conditioning system on the Ranger 21, and as you can see in here, it has a seacock here, and then it has a through hull fitting, and this is where the water comes in. There's a strainer here, and then there's a pump, and then this pumps out and goes into the air conditioning system. So the issue is that we need to clear all of this from having any sort of water in here other than the RV antifreeze. This will drain out naturally using gravity, but what we're going to try and do is suck the rest of the RV antifreeze by putting it through here in a strainer, and JP is going to use a shop vac on the other side, and we're going to see if we can draw out some antifreeze to get the whole system filled with antifreeze. So I'm going to turn the stopcock to open it. That should drain any residual water out through the hull, and then we're going to try pouring some antifreeze in here and seeing if JP can get it out the other side, see how this is going to work.
Here.
I think it's working too. It's drawing it out, so.
It's drawing it through?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got antifreeze coming out? Alright, this cabin's a little bit of a mess, so I'm going to do some winter cleaning before I get done with it. So we're done with the first part of the air conditioning. It worked really well. We were able to draw some of the RV antifreeze using a shop vac on the outside, and now we're going to talk poop. So the next thing we're going to do is talk about the black water tank here. So there is a holding tank on this. We have used it throughout the summer intermittently, and we've been able to flush it and rinse it out. But the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to actually pour a couple gallons of antifreeze in there and see if we can discharge the port of the discharge and get antifreeze to flow out on the external side. So let's see if we can do that. So we filled the holding tank with a gallon of RV antifreeze. I'm going to see if I can get it to empty out and we can get some antifreeze to start coming out the side. So we're going to try pumping this out. You get anything?
You got it.
Was it pink?
Yes, it's pink, but you want to keep going a little bit more?
All right, I think that's as much as we're going to get out here. Was it pink?
It was pink.
So the next thing we're going to do after we pumped out the black water tank, which was full of just regular water, I filled it with water, is now going to do the freshwater tank. So there's about 10 gallons in here. I don't know how much we have left in here, but we're going to see. We'll just run this all out until it's absolutely dry, and then there's an external port here on the side here. We're going to fill with a couple gallons of antifreeze until we can get it coming out pink out of the tap. So it's going to run out and it'll come out the side, and JP will show you where it's coming out right now on the side over there.
It's going to be really cool.
What you doing over here? Oh, what you doing? And you can see it's coming out pretty pink.
So before we wrap things up here, there's a couple other things we're going to look at. Just going to make sure everything is all set to go for the springtime. And one of the things we're going to do is check our belts and check all of our hoses, which we've already done. One of the places we've had an issue in the past is with the heater hose chafing down here. We put some chafe protection on, and we're just going to double check that to make sure that everything is good there. The other thing we're doing is tightening up fittings and screws, because this little Volvo Penta 30 gets a great fuel mileage. It's very efficient, but it does vibrate at low speeds, and one of the things it likes to do is vibrate some of these screws loose, especially some of these guys down here.
Here, these ones.
So we're just tightening those back up, and we'll look at our fittings up top and make sure everything is all snug up here. We'll be good to go in the spring.
One of the other things for winterizing is that the cushions all get cleaned, and so these actually can go in a regular laundry machine. They unzip and the foam just comes out, and then what we do is we wash them and then put like a water repellent that we purchase on for canvas products on in the spring. So I'm going to take these off. They come off pretty easily, and the cushions are just going to get rinsed before they get put away for the winter time. All right, so we're towards the end. We've done a couple different stages. We took care of all the fresh water, we took care of the black water, we tightened up everything, and now we put some simple green down. We're just going to give a nice rinse to the motor here and inside the cabin. And then the last step we're going to do is just suck out the bilge. We do leave the drain plug out for the winter and the battery's plugged in. But this is just a good chance to clean out the bilge. We'll open some of the portholes, rinse everything out, and just get a good cleaning so the boat's ready to go for the spring.